Yeah.
24 hours of peace, peace, love, unity, safely having fun. Real hip hop for the people. It's an engagement. It's a demonstration. Using hip hop culture to get you activated. Let the people hear the bass and the vibration, the love, peace, unity, and watch them add on. It's a culture. It's not just rapping. It's not what we do. It's how we do it. We're doing it right here, Springfield Avenue, between Bergen and Plum. 24 hours straight, man. It's crazy.
We the people. The people of the culture.
Yeah, Ron Lawrence. Fire.
The hip hop culture.
Yo, we love rap.
That's
Love
what we
it.
do.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. But it's really about the culture.
Yeah, let them know how.
The realness. The culture. Yeah.
What up, man?
You know a hard head makes a soft behind. If I only knew my schoolwork like I knew them rhymes. Mom upside my head, I'm trying to memorize every line. High power rap that breaks super rhymes. Deep into the culture, didn't even know it. Young entrepreneurs spitting bars like a poet in a rush to be mature behind bars when we blow it. In the bold as rappers too immature to outgrow it. It was more than just music, something next to breathing. I get giddy like a baby trying to spit while I'm feeding. The mic I be squeezing, dropping facts like I'm teaching. Leaking flows for the perfect beat seeking. Mama used to say, take your time, young man. But I'm trying to feel a light so you can see it when I tan. I'm like one that never ran, I'm a fan but never stand. Just take it backwards to the east, X and out the clan.
Holy integrated, having omnipresent, we are.
But no one stopped to think about the people.
Holy integrated, having omnipresent, we are.
But no one stopped to think about the people.
Pueblo Unido, grassroots Steve Biko. Rule number one, never forget the people. I live that, I give back. Heart all in it, no gimmick, straight facts. From the start, I'm the light from the dark. Born from black art, knew my part. Daddy gave me, mama made me. North raised me, hip hop saved me. For the culture now, for the black and brown. Harriet Underground, sun up to sundown. Till my people get out, north to down south, spread like word of mouth. While you cowards is hooded, we battle the bullet. Black lives to the fullest. Out here to the end, stronger together, that's the day we win.
Holy integrated, having omnipresent, we are.
But no one stopped to think about the people.
Holy integrated, having omnipresent, we are.
Yeah. But no one stopped to think about the people.
We are an innovative, technology-based digital distribution company who is committed to championing the independent artist. We provide a platform to educate, empower, and elevate independent artists globally. The major difference between us and our competitors is we teach independent artists how to own their music, likeness, and intellectual property in perpetuity.
We believe that your music deserves to be heard. We strive to provide you with the tools necessary to get your brand and movement out globally. We help you own, operate, and monetize your music and performance rights by educating you on how this all works and empowering you with the tools necessary to be seen and heard in this ever-changing digital world we live in.
The future of music distribution is here, and everything will be streamed. Adventure Music helps independent artists take control of their music in this ever-changing digital world. Becoming a member of Adventure's Music will give you access to the many services we offer our members. Song recording, sound mixing, track mastering, audio editing, and video production. Adventure's Music provides a platform with marketing relationships that allow our members to retain ownership of all their masters, monetize their music as we share it throughout all streaming platforms. We help artists take control of their careers, own their music, and have real leverage in the music industry. Our Own It events are designed to provide artists with everything they need to take control of their careers. We educate you on how the money moves in this industry and how you can manage it for success. We will be coming to a city near you soon. Our mission is to drive a positive change in the music industry by leveraging our relationships, establishing alternative distribution methods with new technologies, and enabling independent artists to own their music. Visit the website and become a member today.
This pisses me
My brothers, shout out, man.
What's
We got
good? What's
X
good?
Diamond, we got Chris Gotti, Adventures Music,
Yes,
The Ink, Murder Inc.
that's right.
Yes, some legendary individuals right here. And I just want to first say my deepest condolences to you, Chris,
Thank
and your
you.
family. I haven't gotten a chance to see you since the passing of Irv, and I want to let you know that there's all love this way.
He's right here. He's right here.
Nice. Yeah, man. So I've known you guys for quite a long time. Dex and I have gotten really close over the years, but in terms of the door was always open at Murder Inc. for me, and it was a very special time in hip hop culture, music industry. You
Yes.
guys were a big part of that, a huge part of that. But I want to go all the way back to the beginning. I would like to hear about Queens, New York, from you guys' perspective, especially in the 80s. Like, what was happening with you guys in respect to hip hop culture? When did you become introduced to hip hop? What shaped you as young hip hoppers?
Shit, it's the crack epidemic, just like anywhere else. In the 80s, that's what it was. It was, and again, I didn't partake in that crack epidemic or anything, but it was everywhere you went. It was everyone else. Irv wasn't part of the crack epidemic, but we're around it. So you're influenced by it. You see all the change, all the things that's happening. And then you have the emergence of Run DMC, who we happened to grow up with, right? These are iconic artists right in the neighborhood, like down the block, around the corner. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah. Like, how old were you when Run DMC first hit? Or when you first met Run DMC or got influenced by Jam Master in the park?
After what's their first song? 2 years ago.
Suck MC.
What's it called?
Suck MC.
There you go. I'm bad with titles and names. And
Nah,
stuff,
I am
so
too. Don't
I
worry
don't
about
forget
it.
the songs or anything like that. But Suck MCs. It was the second summer on Suck MCs. That record lasted for 2 summers. That second summer is when I got let's say cool with Jam Master Jay and Joe Run, which is Run, Joseph Simmons and Daryl McDaniels, DMC.
Right. It's like 85, 80-45.
That year, whatever that year is.
I know I'm out East Orange, New Jersey. If my memory serves me correctly, Suck MC dropped 83.
There you go. So it was the second one. So it was 84.
84.
It wasn't when it first dropped. It was not when it was first dropped. I didn't meet them until after that. Right. They realized they was right in the neighborhood. It was like, oh man, they right here.
Right. So what was you listening to before Run DMC? Like, what was going on?
Cool Mo D, Treacherous MCs. I mean, I go back to all those Grandmaster Flash, Furious 5, and Schoolie D. I mean, all of those guys is really what raised me. That's when I heard those records. It was like, oh man, what is this? Like, it was like it was like a breath of fresh air. Yeah. I'm 58, right? And I was raised with we didn't have FM radio in the house. Only we had in the car, we had an AM radio station only. And basically that's, if you think about what's on those stations, you got to listen to country, western, like folk song, folk record. That's it. So when hip hop emerged and you caught a glimpse of it, it was like, whoa, what is this?
Right. Yeah. So you said a whole bunch right there. You said a lot right there. Yeah. In the way of, in terms how we receive music, what was available to us as platforms. You got AM radio. You got, there's 2 stations on the dial that listen to black music or plays black music, and they playing hip hop, like, if at all, late at night on the weekends.
That's right. Right. That's right. You had to be up late, 2 in the morning.
Right.
To catch a set that might have lasted 30 minutes to an hour max.
Right. So, Yeah, Dex, you want to say something?
See, that's from the Queen side, right?
Uh-huh.
For me, I always looked at hip hop it's like I was outside and I watched hip hop being born. You know,
So you
because
was in the Bronx.
I was in Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn.
No, he's in
Oh, you was in
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Okay,
Right?
okay.
But that's
We used to have.
He didn't ask that question.
He said
That
what?
wasn't the question, but yes, I was. Don't make it like I wasn't outside, Dex.
No, that's not what I'm talking.
We was doing block parties and all that. But again, I'm trying to give
It
you
was
the
disco
time frame
music.
of disco music. We did red light specials, bro. Put the red light on, and you had all the kids had to get out of the room. You understand?
All right, so
I did all of those things in basement parties and all of those kind of things. And again, when he asked about it, it wasn't that it wasn't outside and Queens wasn't living and breathing hip hop. But
That's not what I was getting at.
The first days. What's the early days? When did you find? Really, the question is like, when did you find hip hop?
Wow.
I think
you can't tell me you was living and breathing.
I think the first record I heard,
in my opinion, of how we was experiencing music. And even look when you say in New Jersey, you know, when I look at NWA, when you look at NWA, it's the same thing. They're doing it on the West Coast. It's Bronx claims it, and we gave Bronx the credit for it. But the reality
that's interesting. And for some reason, Dex, I put you in Queens and you from Brooklyn. Right?
Yeah, I'm from Brooklyn.
Right.
And when the first rap record I think I heard at a block party was either King Tim the Third and some dude named Woody Wood or something like that. And then right after that, that's when I heard like the Rapper's Delight. And then, you know, whatever I was hearing before that, these was like the bombs that went off in my head. And I was like, yo, this is it. It's like a crack. Like he said, it was like crack. Like, it was something that I never had before that hit me. And I just kept chasing it. I'm still chasing it in my life.
Right. See, I'm looking at it like from being a Jersey cat, and people don't understand like how when we talk about the battle between the boroughs, right? It's Staten Island and Jersey, Connecticut. We like, whatever. Right. But now, like, I'm real good friends with Ron Lawrence, who of course is from Queens. And he put out a documentary called The Founding Fathers, which is about the culture of hip hop in Queens, and the Queens legends, the Queens DJs, right? Let's not forget about Queens. And then there's always that battle, of course, KRS-One being the MC Shan, Bronx versus Queens. But then people don't know that KRS is actually from Brooklyn. Originally, but I think that
I'm originally from Brooklyn.
See, there we go. So I think it's important always for the viewers and the listeners who are in the hip hop culture to understand the cultural impact. Like when we say culture, when you mention the crack era in the 80s, like when we talk about coming up maybe outside of the 60s and the 70s when it was more like Black Panthers. So we look at the Zulu Nation, like the influences that's impacting young Black and brown people for them to do the things that they do.
Yes.
So that's the reason why I asked that question. And it's crazy, you got the Queens Brooklyn thing going on right there.
BQE.
Because when they was going with the Bronx and Queens stuff, I guess for me as a Brooklyn dude, I just was I was enjoying music from both sides and shit, from the Boogie Down and from Marley Marl and the Juice.
When I hear that, like a KRS-One record, and that's later on.
Yeah.
That's not what made me start with hip hop.
No.
So that's what the original question was, what got me into hip hop. I mean, I can't remember all those artist names that I used to listen to. But it was before the KRS-One, MC Shan. At that moment, I'm in hip hop already.
Yeah.
We're doing stuff.
See,
me and Herb already out and about. We're battling Herb is battling DJs. We had an artist named Romeo battling rappers. We had MC Rozelle, a beatbox, Godfather Noise battling beatboxes, and they was the crew. So we was already in it when that record was out.
Right.
So that is not the beginning for me of hip hop. That's why I thought I was answering that question.
Well, that's a very powerful distinction you just made, and that's hip hop culture is not the music business.
No.
Right.
Nah.
It's not the rap music business. It's the culture. So yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you made that distinction.
Yeah.
You know. So what was it when you said, okay, I want to do this music thing? What was that?
So if I'm completely truthful for myself, you know, Herb is my little bro, and if I did something, he did it. So like when I played football, he played football. If I played basketball, he played basketball. When I DJ'd, he DJ'd. And when I seen how good he was, I was like, I was already, obviously I'm DJing to myself or trying to. I was terrible. Don't get it fucked up. And Irv was really good. And I was like, whoa. And that's when it made me say he's got something different. You know, the way he picked up on that and got into it. And I used to just take him around battling everybody, and he's winning battle after battle after battle as a DJ. And that's when you say what got me in it, it was that. I seen that my little brother had something different about him.
How old were you when that was going down?
I'm probably like 17 because Irv is like 14. And you know, it just went from there.
Yeah, that's powerful because you talk about big brother, little brother.
Yeah.
Oftentimes we talk about rivalry.
Nah.
And
me and Irv, I never had that big brother rivalry with my little brother. That was not even a thought. I took care of him in every sense of you know, that you could, any way you could think of it, I did. And I never had a beef with him until I'll tell you when it's like it's so clear because it's only really 2 days in my life that I really was willing to put my hands on him if he did something that I didn't like. And one was the first day was I found out he was actually driving all his bricks down to Ohio. I told you I didn't sell drugs. I might have tied niggas up, but I didn't sell drugs. I might have robbed someone, but I didn't sell drugs, right? So that was something I didn't want her to do. And if I did it, I knew he would do it. Just like I said, I knew big brother, little brother, so I never did it. And one day I found out because his bumper was off. And he had all the bricks that was taped up to the bumper, I found out. And I thought maybe he had an accident. So I go up to go see him. Like, yo, what happened to your car? The bumper's off. And he jumped up out of bed because he was sleeping, getting ready to make that drive to Ohio. And he come running down, and that's when I found out what he did and what he was doing and who he's doing it with. And that's the day I told him, like, I was ready to fuck him up that day.
Yeah.
That's the first day I got out of, like, pocket with him. And, you know, he reacted right. He didn't say nothing. He's worried about who took everything from him to see if we get it back. We ended up getting it all back. I found out, I did my detective work. Who was there, who was with him, and then we started a process of elimination, and we got to the guy that did it. Took care of him and got everything back, but maybe an eighth. They like ripped one of the bricks open, and like a little less than an eighth was missing, but we got away with that too.
Yeah, like those stories from the 80s, you know, the pressures of the crack era was definitely prevalent. You know, I'm from East Orange, New Jersey, Newark, all that. Like, yeah, you already know what it is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We all saw it. So even though we weren't in it, we all were in it because we were dealing with the devastation, whether it was relatives, family members, friends, getting caught up, losing loved ones early. 80s was a very treacherous time and shaped us in a lot of ways, positive and negative. And then, you know, when we look at the reflection in the music, like there's in my opinion, a balance that's been missing. You know, But anyway,
what do you feel the balance is? The Chuck D's?
Not just the Chuck D's. Like when you have like a Tribe Called Quest, a De La Soul, and that's an era. It's not nothing's gonna stay the same, and things change and things develop. But it's not that they were banging you in the head with knowledge, wisdom, understanding. It was more like a cultural aesthetic. It's just a way that this group of people related to each other. Like there's a thing on the internet called Find Your Tribe. No pun intended. Tribe Called Quest represented a certain tribe, and some of us from our community are from that tribe. Yeah. And then you have more, gangster stylized. I have a lot of friends and family members that's living that lifestyle, and that's their soundtrack. And to some degree, it's my soundtrack.
Yeah,
hit record's a hit record. I'm with it.
Good music is good music.
Good music is good music.
I was just gonna say that. Good music is good music.
So I was a school teacher for 4 years, from 1990 to 94, right? And it's funny you mentioned Chuck D because that was my soundtrack. I was Black Power, organized, yes. Black Panther. That was my shit, right? And that's that. Anyway, I'm going off.
Let me ask you a question with what you're saying. How if they didn't play those Chuck D records on the radio, and we had the internet, would you go looking for those records, or you felt that because that's what was being portrayed on the radio or wherever we could find it? When you had went and dug for them,
there was a bunch of different things that caused us to pay attention to Public Enemy. Like, first of all, there is no hip hop but BLS and Kiss, right?
At the time.
And both stations was banging that record. That wasn't a daytime record. They said in the song, radio, suckers, won't play me on the radio. It wasn't getting played on mainstream radio. You had to find it. That's what you was into. But then there was a movement on the ground because of Yusef Hawkins. You had Michael Stewart. You had Tawana Brawley. You had Al Sharpton. You had the marches in Brooklyn. You had Do the Right Thing. You had a lot of shit that was just a convergence of we're gonna pay attention to that. And then motherfuckers started paying attention to some more other shit. And it's been that ever since. And that's what I mean by balance. Like the balance has been whacked out. Like we need.
Who created that balance though?
Good question. I was about to say that.
Because it's not the artist. See, the artists chase money.
Exactly.
If Chuck D or let's use Tribe because you say the Tribe. If Tribe Called Quest was the most popular group right now, you would see 10 different Tribe Called Quest trying to be Tribe Called Quest. See, the money in it, part of our problem is a culture is we always chase money instead of things that may be more valuable than the money. But everyone wants the money because we've been in poverty or in very low income situations, whatever it may be, and you want out. And I understand that. See, it's not like I don't understand it, but
so how that's the challenge. Everybody needs a soundtrack.
Okay, everybody. So when you say that, Little Dirk is my soundtrack.
There you go. And
there's nothing wrong with that.
And there's nothing wrong with that. However,
me personally, I listen to that music. I really like the music. And again, when you get into it and you find out all of the truths are inside of these things or some of the realities, it's like, whoa, this shit is strong. But they're expressing themselves, and that's what we have to endorse.
Yes, absolutely.
You can't endorse something positive only and then don't take the negative.
No. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that just like Little Dirk serves as a soundtrack for a group of people, there's people protesting and marching something in the world every single day. There's always somebody upset with the way shit is and needs a soundtrack.
Absolutely, you'll never make everyone happy. But
you never exactly
the part like they need at the very beginning. It's just dollars and cents. Why is jazz music no longer a genre of music? It's not like it's a great form of music. It's not like people didn't like it, but it didn't make the money and they got rid of it. See, the powers that be is over our head. Now the only way we could take it back is we would have to support that. And where's the supporters of the Tribe Called Quest? Now the people that when they don't see those supporters come out from a business standpoint, they don't care about it. They lose the interest. It's too small. It's too insignificant to chase it, and that's why it disappears. And then when people are mad that these other groups are winning, I'm like, well, then support the groups that you want and stop complaining. Yeah. And then maybe they will win with them, and then they'll be more prevalent. That's the day and age. Today, radio you talked about radio before. Radio will play anything that's popular on the internet.
Popular radio now.
Right.
That's it. They will play it.
Mhm.
So okay, so then get it popular. Why isn't the group supporting it? And that's
Yeah, but I think
that's
that
the disconnect.
yes, and it is what it is. It's like it is what it is, and there are tribes of people who aren't on the mainstream vibe, and they're supporting the things that they like, right? So I think the realest thing in hip hop right now is battle rap. What battle rap has done over the last 15, 20 years in terms of the energy.
Here's battle rap, in my opinion. It's not. It's they don't make music or song. They're really more poetry, like
right, and that's fine. And there's
a different.
Right, there's a space for it.
Things that are not in the same category as
right. But so we say selling records is selling records. That's what it is. If I'm comparing people who are selling records,
how come? And I love battle rap. Murder Mook's one of my boys. That's one of my favorite battle rap guys. How come he's not the biggest selling artist? He's talented as he is, and is great. That's what I don't think people put into consideration. He is talented. How come he doesn't have hit records?
Well, you know how you said certain things are not supposed to be compared.
I understand, but
right, we're not supposed like it's not a matter.
Battle rap,
but in the world,
talented. See,
right?
I'm not saying him as a battle rapper.
I understand what you're saying.
Wordsmith.
Right,
it's a wordsmith. He knows how to put words together and put them and give you all of those format, those different ways to think about. Why has he taken that skill set?
Making hit records is a talent in and of itself.
It's a different talent.
It's a different talent, right?
It's a different skill set.
Right. And battle rappers, how they've managed to take that form of the culture and bring it to where it is now is a different talent that is still hip hop and shows the brilliance of hip hop. It's not this versus that. It's this and that.
Me personally,
it's another slice of the pie, bro.
I never put
it's another slice of the pie. Right.
Because one of my biggest beefs in music is when the award shows.
Right.
And they only say the best rap album. How can I have the best rap album and compare Tyler the Creator to Jadakiss or to Jay-Z?
Right.
Or even Eminem. They don't make the same type of music. And until they break down like they did for rock and roll, genres, country, punk, rock, contemporary rock, all of these different, so they could get an award, we'll never have that. And they'll never do that for us.
Now, I think that part of that is that's how they maintain control by keeping it boxed in. They'll tell us it's only this, and if you're not this, then you're not really moving the needle.
There you go. That's the fool's goal. Because if they say this is the #1 album, and this is what it sounds like, and this is what's going to get all the accolades, the natural competitive person, again, is going to say, I could do that better than that. Right or wrong? They're chasing something that they're probably not. One of the things, again, no one sits there and puts it in perspective, but I love talking shit about it because it's real. We didn't do that. We didn't conform. Ja Rule's a monster because of that. He was a battle rapper first. Go listen to Vena Vici, okay? And then go listen to 336. He found something that is totally his own, creatively, sound-wise, rap-wise, song-wise, and became the biggest and best at it in the country, in the world at the time. And no one says anything about that, but I can't help but speak about it because, again, as much as I love some of these other artists, and I don't want to put their names out there, they still make the same record as they first started. Just the evolution, the development is still there. So how do they expect to have the growth and development when they didn't?
Right.
So, yes, and they're incredible with the words, but
well, I'm glad you said that, because one of the things that I wanted to ask you, right?
And I don't mean to cut you off, but you got to remember, when you talk this business, this is a business. This isn't just rap, and that's it. See, once you add on music business, then stop talking like this isn't a business. This is a business. And if I'm an owner of a company that runs this business, I have to figure out how to make profit in the business, or else the business cannot exist.
Right.
And that's
Now,
where we're at today.
okay. So in any civilization, at any point in time in history, the number one resource, the most important resource of that civilization is human resource. Now, if you don't invest in human beings, if you're not investing in the culturing of human beings, you're not going to have a resource.
But I agree with you.
Right,
Listen,
right.
I agree with you, but
because I know it's like there's the music business, right, and then there's the culture, right, and then what you guys represent as a cultural force does, for me, transcend record sales. Even though you guys have sold hundreds, millions of records, right?
Well, you know, here, there's
I
got
got introduced to Irv. I got introduced to Irv Gotti through the music of Mike Geronimo, right?
Okay.
Right. That's how I caught on to Irv, right? Yeah. And when I caught on to Irv, like if you look at Madism and you look at Shit Is Real, it feels real. It's a grittiness. It's an undergroundness to it.
We gave you the culture.
Right. Now, the ability to then give us fucking hit records is a talent that most of us don't have. The understanding of how to relate to the people here, but give us something that relates to the masses is something that's to be greatly admired and appreciated. Don't get it twisted.
Let me explain something. You said something that I want to get to, which is you was talking about the influence or the culture, and you said human resources, and I talk about this when I do some of my seminars, because hip hop is America's biggest resource. I know you're saying human, but human is
human's creative. Exactly, I'm with you. 1,000% agree.
When you mention human resource, that is a given across the board. That is equal for every country. Anywhere on this planet,
God invests in human beings.
Human resource, that's equal everywhere. So that, to me, there's no up or down. There's no value from it. That's everyone is a human being. We all have to have human interests, no matter what language, race, creed, or color you are. But the part that I'm talking about, that Saudi Arabia, all that oil is their biggest resource for the world. And what is the resource? Is what they give, that country gives to the world. Here's what we have. Diamonds and gold is Africa, and all types of other shit is Africa. We give this to the world. This is our natural resources that this country or continent gives out.
We save the American economy.
America, it's fucking hip hop.
Exactly. We
never speak about. Because guess what? It's excluded from a culture or a set of people.
Well,
right?
We don't
this is not white.
And being custodians of our culture.
This is not white hip hop. It's black and brown. And when I say brown, I'm talking about the Latinos are inside.
Hey, black people to me. In my book, black people is black people.
I agree. But I'm trying to be very political here. It's in the sense
I know.
For the ones that think that it's not, they are part of this whole thing because of this, and they are part of it. When I say black and brown, that's what this is. This is the words, the culture, the rhythms that we gave to the world that is bigger than even religion. It's bigger than, just imagine when I say that, it's bigger than Christianity. It's bigger than Muslims and Islam. It's bigger than Jews.
It's a culture.
It's the biggest thing in the world.
It's the way people relate to each other, the way people think, the way America carries itself, even when they hate niggas. Even when it's motherfuckers who hate niggas, he'll have his hat on backward. They have on some Nikes.
The culture is the effect of the culture.
Have on some motherfucking more shit. Be like, nigga, I'm with you. 1,000%. But that's why, like, to go back to the culture and distinguishing between the music business, which is about bottom line. Don't get it twisted. Like you said, it's the music business. It's 15% music, 85% business. Yes, absolutely. But the culture itself is what produces the creativity that we're able to exploit and eat off of. So if we don't control their mind, the minds of these young people that that plugged into us, if we don't really be careful with the mind, they're gonna be self-destructive.
Come on.
Well, I mean, like now you have to add in the factor inside of the same art of the hip hop culture, the AI generated artist that's going to be entering this playing field. You understand what I'm saying?
That we can't stop. We got to figure out how to adapt to it.
You already have a country song claiming the #1 spot in country already. You understand what I'm saying? So it's going to start. Some of these things are probably going to be pushing the human sound less on the radio. Instead, it's not a lot of slots on the radio.
Let me tell you something. That AI part, woof.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
It's dangerous. And we're feeding the beast. And it's like they got us right now. In order for us to eat now, we got to sell a part of the future away. And that's AI.
Yeah.
Well, I see the physical CD or the hard drive or some type of digital way for the artist now to go direct to consumer, direct to fan.
Yeah.
And eliminate those third parties. Now, I'm not sure. This is a question you could probably chime in for me, Chris. If an artist was to do that and deal directly to consumer, they would make the money on the sale, but now how would the back end of composition and stuff work on that?
It's the same. It's going to work the same. They just now have to be more about their business. They have to have legal teams and divisions internally to set up to go collect these other streams of revenue that's out there once they put out their content the proper way, and then go direct to consumer is the way to go.
It's the only way to go.
If you go direct to consumer, then we wouldn't need a Spotify or a Tidal or Amazon.
No, you could do it in conjunction with those. You would end up having more leverage to change the deal that they're giving everybody, because they know that you don't have to go there. Well, see, if they knew that, then they couldn't just rape and pillage the way they do. They would have to pay better. They would have to figure it out on their end or close down shop. But there's no leverage because it's not enough. There's not enough of the independent artists saying that we're doing it this way and only this way and standing on business. See, you want to change something. You want to take down Goliath and you're David. You got to have a lot of ammunition. You can't just
we know firsthand. We know firsthand.
Rock ain't putting Goliath down. You better have a bunch of rocks ready to keep firing at him and hit him with. And when they say there's strength in numbers, that's the bet. I believe they're betting we would never get the numbers.
Yeah,
which means we're standing together, and that's why they don't believe.
Yeah, well, two things I want to thank you for highlighting: organization, the numbers, organizing people to stand behind a principle. That's important, number one. But the other side of that was Spotify, these other streaming platforms, are they to be used as a tool to help you direct the consumer?
If you're independent, I believe it's the only way, the only tool you can use, because see, the masses are already there. How else can you do that? You're an independent artist. How else can you do that without having real money behind you, or have your own money to actually get that exposure that you're talking about? I do films, and I could go make a film, and I could go spend $5 million on a film and make an incredible film. The difference when you're independent is who knows it exists. See, when you go to those big companies, they're going to market and promote it for you. It's inside of the numbers they're putting up. They know that if they're spending $5 million on the film, they're spending 15 in marketing, right? To get the awareness out there. So as an artist, it's no different. What's the way you're going to get millions and millions of people to know you exist? Because a percentage of those millions are going to come and fuck with you.
Yeah.
You're right. Everyone that heard your shit don't have to necessarily like your shit or care about you. They don't like that genre of music. So it's a numbers game. It's a percentage, and you have to understand that. And it's the same with direct to consumer. The difference is that few amounts that do come fuck with you in the direct consumer and they purchase is worth way more than that stream is, and that's the reality.
Yeah.
So you don't need as many, you just need enough, and you could actually create real revenue stream from direct to consumer.
Yeah, and also discuss like the live show component. And I want to mention something after you finish.
Well, you know, live show, everyone is not built. You know, just think of artists today that before early days, before all this internet shit, there were some artists that was able to do shows and some that couldn't. They just didn't have the aptitude to do the shows, and they didn't have the relationships to get into the buildings to do the show. It's no different. Every artist doesn't mean you're a great performer, and doesn't mean you're worth. People might come and see you, and that'll be the death of you.
Yeah.
You got to realize your strengths and weaknesses. I tell independent artists all the time, if they're going to get on that stage, at least have a knowledge of what you're doing on that stage and why, and what's going to make someone say, damn, I want to see him again.
Yeah.
Or I want to see her again. Other than just loving your music, because that's what performing is all about. It's not just your music. It's about that performance. And that's what gets people back and back. And while we're talking about that, I'm going to give you a quick shout out to NBA Youngboy.
Yeah.
For killing it right now. He's on tour, killing it, and he doesn't get on radio. And you have never seen an artist tour like he is doing without radio in this country. Okay, if you toured, you hit radio. He's breaking
his fan base is locked in.
He's breaking barriers right now, and he's doing an incredible job. And keep the violence down, because if the violence shows up, it'll be over, and they can't wait to shut it down.
Right now, he's what artists you got to understand that they got to become a hard ticket seller.
Yeah.
Got to be able to fill seats.
But don't get it fucked up. He makes hot records too. Like, let's keep it. He's making culturally hot records that he has his tribe that loves it and they're supporting, and that's the difference.
Yeah.
So just know, he's, you know, you said 85-15, and I still believe it's 50-50, because there's no business without good music. You know, you gotta have it's a partnership, and you gotta have good music to have good business. No good music, no good business.
Yeah. Oh damn, you said so much. I wanted to add on to. Well, in terms of the live show and the direct to consumer conversation, merchandise, other tangible items that you can sell people, who then you bring them into your world, and they become lifelong super fans, as we call them. So like the digital world versus the real world. Talk about the differences between the two and how to leverage one against the other, I guess.
I don't think it's leveraging it against each other. I think they have to cooperate with each other. They got to work together. You can't have such a powerful tool like the internet and social media and all these things that are free and not utilize it with your direct to consumer approach and your hard sell and getting in front of. You only could reach more and more efficiently through these digital ways. So you have to figure out what's your best way. Like what works for you promoting these podcasts may not work for me in my podcast, right? We just don't tap the same algorithms and things of that nature. So they have to figure those things out, and that's a process. And you have to put in the time to figure out that process. Really, it's really not rocket science. It's really work, dedication, consistency. Number one, consistency. I look at today with the emergence of so many new artists. Right? Think about what I'm saying. There's so many, millions and millions of artists today. There wasn't nothing like that before, but today there's millions and millions of artists. That is a problem in the sense of if you're not consistent. You put out a record, they love it. An album, let's say, and they love your album, and then you're waiting and you don't put nothing else out. I put music as food. If you didn't feed your fans, what do you think? They're going to starve and wait for you? They're going to go eat somewhere else.
Now, I noticed somebody been able to crack that code for some odd reason, and that's Cardi B, in terms of putting projects out so far apart. And
Cardi B, I love that you brought her up, and you could have said Drake, or you could have said someone big like that, or even Kendrick Lamar. The reality is they are stars already.
Right? Yeah, no. But
No, so
even,
you
even
cannot
still, to your
compare.
point, now I'm in total agreement. You gotta keep
No,
putting
so
out
I'm trying to
content. You
make sure
can't
that
miss
the
a lick.
audience understands.
Yeah,
You are not them. Don't
that's right.
act like them.
They're the 1%ers, brother.
But guess what? When
Right.
they was coming up, go look at when they was coming up. Then, if you want to compare yourself, don't compare them as they already became superstars in this game and say, "Well, they don't do it." I don't know. Go look at when they started and watch their consistency and how much music they fed their fan base to get to become that star.
Yeah. I only say that because she has been the only anomaly that I could think of, to your point. Like, I'm in total agreement with your point. You gotta stay consistent with content. You gotta keep it coming. But you know, she seemed to have cracked that code.
Well, she
People
again.
like her character.
Even if you
I'm gonna go deeper into her character.
even if you're a superstar,
Whether
you
you
don't
guys
wait
want to admit
6,
it
7
or
years
not,
between projects.
whether you want to admit it or not, Cardi B is a Latina.
Ah.
And you're discounting that Latina or Latino
Doubling up.
effect.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just numbers, guys. It's nothing else. And
Yeah,
they're
you
way
know,
more loyal to their fan bases
thank you.
than we are. Ja
That's
Rule's
right.
a perfect example. How could he be the biggest and then all of a sudden no one wants to fuck him because 50 said something? It doesn't make any sense now, does it? But go ahead. Nicki Minaj was going all that Cardi. Do you think it hurt her or anything? Nothing. It's like nothing. That's the Latino power. They fuck with their fan, their audience, their star. They're gonna stay with them. They don't just run from them. And you're not counting that in. That's the X factor. So
Yeah.
she has that.
Thank you.
That's why you're saying she's an anomaly.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah.
the reality. I
Wow.
know this. This isn't me guessing. This is what I know.
Right.
I know that is part of the reason she could do the things she does.
That's interesting. Cardi's an interesting bridge too between cultures. There's the division. Too much we pay attention to the division. And we don't see the power in unity, the power in numbers, as you talked about before.
That's it. And the loyalty that comes within that base. Certain artists have that loyalty. Kanye West. You don't think Kanye has a loyal base? He drops something, everyone's going crazy. Even the haters got to hear what he's saying.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Certain artists built that kind of loyalty that they could get away with it. But she exudes, bless you, she exudes that confidence, that exact thing, that loyalty from her base of fans.
Yeah. Wow. So, when I used to see y'all up in the building, when you guys used to invite me in, and Hakim Green at work, you know what I mean?
Our doors was always open for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
as long as you came in with respect, we let you come in. But if you came in with some funny shit, you had to go.
Yeah, well, me particularly, I appreciated the invitation. Trust me. Big shout out to the whole Murder Inc. team. All my guys, BJ, Ron, Dan Tanner, Tariq.
Today's Dan's birthday.
Happy birthday, Dan!
Shout out Dan Tan.
Yeah, man. Yeah, big shout out. Now that building though was quite interesting because you had 3 mega operations.
Which building?
He's talking about.
I'm talking about University.
I know.
I'm talking about 50th Street.
850 Worldwide
850,
Plaza.
Right. Worldwide Plaza. Right. Interesting building because you had 3 powerhouses in that building at the same time, like doing a lot of big things for Def Jam.
Absolutely.
And though the stories go wide and far, I never saw any BS. Only BS that happened was I was involved in. That's another story we'll talk about another time. But just in terms of being up there, running the floors, it was always love, and it was always good to see Black people working,
running shit.
Black people with their head down, making tremendous things happen. Can you guys just talk about that time, please?
Man, that's I'm gonna let Dex start. I want to hear his perspective from that time.
Man, it happened so fast, basically, man. And you just had to learn things, create things, learn to understand fast, learn to decipher shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you gonna get left behind. It's like we got a team. Irv is calling the shots. Chris is the GM and shit like that. He got all the players lined up, signed all the right players and shit, and we move it. You know what I'm saying? We did whatever we had to do to make whatever happen and shit. But the main thing is we had a team. I remember Leo Cohen coming downstairs one day, and while he was walking down, this is what he was saying. He was like, Irv Gotti. I used to think you had a bunch of misfits or idiots down here, but I see you got people out here who really know what they doing and shit. Because he was wondering, like, how is they getting this buzz even in the building? Not even putting shit out to the public. The way we moved in the building, how everybody fucked it. We were strong in the art department. We were strong in the new media department. We was, you know what I'm saying? We knew how to move, and we only had to move for ourselves. Where Def Jam representatives, people, they had 10 artists they had to move for. You know what I'm saying? We created our own movement and passed it over to Def Jam already with legs.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? We got our own records running. It's a lot of reasons how we got all of that stuff, because there was a lot of failures and finessing that was happening to us based on the strength of our music that we was being used for pawns. And as we found out certain things, Irv and Chris made the call like, yo, let's duplicate everything that they got to run a label. So we got our own law department, our own radio department, our own marketing department, promotions department. Every aspect that you needed from a label, we had our own.
You know, from my perspective, right? We're going in thinking everything's great. We got a partner, and everything's going to be good. They're going to treat us the right way and fairly, and you know, everything's going to work out the way it's supposed to, meaning with success. They're supposed to take care of this and that. And we found out it wasn't working that way, and we had to go hire everyone, like Dex is saying. But the reality, if you want to be completely truthful, me and her, we didn't know what we was doing. We just understood what we wanted. And then when you understand what you want, and you're using your money and your resources and your leverage to get it, and it's not going, you learn fast. So in the initial days, again, Irv just wanted to be the biggest producer. He's not thinking record label. When all of this comes, it's like, whoa, now it's, okay, Chris, what are we doing? What are we, you know? And I'm like, I'm going to go study. I'm going to put together people that have some smarts, that knows what they're doing in this division, watch it, go learn from others. And that's what I did. I would be a fly on the wall in so many offices and different rooms to see what they do, to understand it. And I'm a quick student, right? And then I understand how to move after that. And then next, I'm on to the next one. That's how I learned that's my education in the music industry. I learned from each division one by one. And I could arguably say Def Jam had some of the best, most talented people in hip hop.
To learn from, yep.
To learn from.
Yeah, what was some of those folks? We shout them out.
What was what?
He's saying some of the, like a Tina Davis. She was a mom. She was incredible.
For me, it's like Mike Kaiser,
radio,
Jazz Young, Julie Greenwald, Lauren Sears,
even Kevin Lyles. I mean, some of the best. Leo Cohen is much. You had to watch him as much as you had to learn from him. You know what I'm saying? So he's giving you from both angles of education. Like, he's a beast.
That's a conversation I want to have. But go ahead.
It's like when we used to have these things in Def Jam at that time called either 411 meetings or 911 meetings, and sometimes some of all the label heads get together.
Even Margot Wainwright, like she showed you all the video shit.
Margot,
You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody, they had some of the
Denisha
best.
Graham.
Denisha, come on. Yeah. They was incredible, and you got to work side by side with them and see how they move and why, and pick their brains, whether they understood it or not. That's where I got all the education from and knowledge, just from sitting there watching and talking to them for very short. Me personally, no one in that building could sit there and say they were sitting there talking to Chris and doing none of them. I'm not that guy. I'm watching from here and I'm over here watching everything and making sure everything's right. And then I'm learning at the way I learn. You know, I built a whole construction company. We was doing over $40 million a year. I had over 38 employees, all city work. I learned every part of that business. I'm a carpenter, I'm a carpenter, a mason, a tin knocker. You know what I'm saying? A plumber. I know every trade. I learned.
So when did you go through the trades?
When?
How old were you when you went through?
I'm in my 20s.
In your 20s.
Early 20s.
Wow.
And, you know, my mom, as a kid, my mom used to call me Tinker because I would rip apart TVs and put it back together and they work. I would take a radio apart, all in pieces, and put it all right back, and it worked. And they thought I was breaking it. And you just a tinker. You like to tinker with shit. But that's me. You know, I learned from watching. My first car, I rebuilt it. My uncle sold me a Honda Civic, 4-speed, stick shift. It didn't even drive. The engine was blown. He didn't tell me. I bought it for $200. I rebuilt the entire engine.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? That was my first car.
Nice.
And I'm 16. I don't even have a driver's license. So when people tell me like anything, I'm like, they don't understand. That's really how I learned.
Man,
so
you're a builder.
When DEX said we went and hired lawyers and everything, Ron Sweeney and Brian Robinson taught me everything. The other lawyers showed me how they stole. All the lawyers before that didn't teach me the business. They showed me what to look out for.
By doing it to you.
Yes, what lawyers shouldn't be doing.
Oh.
Do you understand? But that's an education too. You need to know that. I learned all of that shit. You can't do that shit. I understand it completely. I understand the angles and why and the motives, where it comes from, where it's not coming from, how it's gonna get there. And I learned that business. And
that's a whole. You got me on a whole nother vibe.
You know, publishing, and I'm talking about the publishing side, everything.
All right, so you know, as an MC, for me, it's all about metaphors, right?
Yeah.
Right. So when you're talking about going through the trades, being a master builder, when you're talking about building infrastructure, building a company, being in music, being able to compare and contrast systems, because I'm sure there's things that you do as a carpenter that applies to what you do as a music business executive.
I just say construction. In
construction. Okay.
What's crazy is the publishing and all of those things, as complicated it is, the construction business made me say it's not as complicated as everyone makes it out, because it's not as detailed. Now I do movies. Movies is way more like construction. Meaning, what do I mean by that? If I get a job and I got to build a building, I have to know where every nut, bolt, window, screw, door, every part of that building, I have to know what's going to go into that building. How much concrete, volume, everything. I have to know all of that. Tiles. I mean, everything I have to know it. That's what movie business is. To put a movie together, it's just that many moving parts.
Right.
But in the music business, it wasn't as many moving parts, if you understand. So it was easier for me to learn it.
From the artist side on that, back then, it was probably, correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, it was probably like when you made your single, right? There was probably 7 verticals to eat off of that particular content.
Nice.
Now, now in this modern day, I think the last time I checked, had some understanding, was probably like something like 33 ways to eat off the same content.
Oh man, because of this, when you say that, it's still the same basic pillars of revenue streams. It's just that there are new companies that opened up that you could go to. That's all it is. It's still
more stores.
You know, when you think
same lane, more
record,
stores,
you make a record, and then it's exploited the exact same way as the very early days. It's just there's more ways to exploit it today, right? But it's still the same things. Meaning, you have your publishing, you got your mechanical sales. You know what I'm saying? You have the licensing, sync
licensing, yeah.
You know, these are the things that are exact pillars, and then you have performance rights. If you're an artist, you got performing royalty rights. This is it. It doesn't change. It's just there's more companies that might deal with the licensing sync today. It's not just one. And you got these other companies that do it in a digital space. They do it in this type of space. So you have multiple places to go, but it's still the same place that is getting exploited from, if you understand. It's the same publishing. There's just more publishing business out there today. Because
same streets, more stores.
That's it. Same streets, more stores. Perfect way to say it.
Publishing companies are making enormous figures at an all-time high because back then it was a funnel. You had to get in through like record labels and stuff like that. But then when the internet came and opened up, that funnel became so big, and every artist is claiming publishing with CSAC, BMI, ASCAP, wherever, whatever. So that company is possibly, if they was generating money off of, say, just 35 million artists, they're probably generating money off of maybe 75 or maybe more artists.
Well, that's the reality. The reason publishing companies is, in my opinion, making more money is also scaling. Okay, the music business had laws. A record gets put out, right? There's no one that claims it. It still has to go through the channels of distribution until someone claims it, and then there's a statute on that. If you don't claim it, then it gets put where what we called in the music industry the black pipeline. So and all this money gets put there that gets divided up. Okay, after X amount of time, it gets divided up between the three major record labels: Sony, Universal, Warner Brothers, and then you have the publishing, your ASCAP. That gets the same thing happens for the publishing side of those records unclaimed.
So that's why it's important for artists to understand when you're filling out these you're putting up content, you can't shortchange the metadata information that it's asking for. And a lot of artists
shortchanging yourself.
They're just so haste to get it out that they disregard, like, even just having information in your bio, you know what I'm saying, helps. Because if a fan likes something, they go there, it gives them a description. If they don't see a description of you and they don't see any type of stuff to interact with, to know about you, they moving on to something else, even though you caught them for a split time. It's a business, and most artists don't understand. Some of the questions that I'm asking Chris is to get the response of information that I know that artists ask me on the daily, or I see it online, because we have a company, as you introed our commercial, one of our ads.
Adventures Music. Right? Yep.
Our mission statement is to educate and empower the independent artists. Chris, with his vast experience, and the other players on our team, the knowledge that we possess for this is from A to present to what's going on. As you see, when you entered that commercial, it was an AI-driven commercial.
Yep.
It's to show you that type of technology is already in our minds, in our system. That's an old commercial.
Hell yeah, that's real.
You see what I'm saying? We're a company that has been so advanced that people was too far for independent artists to see it. And we weren't about smoke and mirrors and flashing lights. We knew that we had something here, and we know our value. And if you want it and you understand it, you're gonna come fuck with it. If not, God bless.
Listen to me, I would tell Dex all the time, because he was always telling me that we're advanced, and I was like, listen, everyone learns at their own clip. We gotta let them catch up. Some go to school and graduate in 2 years, some graduate in 4, some graduate in 5, 6, 8, and it's the same education. I always was saying, when we was on tour, I would hold up my iPhone and I would say, I didn't get on iPhone until iPhone 4S. That was when I first got to iPhone. And I said, before that, it was BlackBerry, which was the best, but iPhone is way better. I'm late coming to the iPhone party. I switched. And I said, it's the same with, let's say, an Android. If you switch to Android, we all learn at our own clip, and we have to allow that artist to learn at their own pace, and just keep feeding them information, That's why, for me, with Adventures, is the main thing is education. Just keep pumping the education. They'll catch it when it's the right time for them to catch it.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys are big on education and focusing it in that direction. Back to culture, though, getting these concepts, these technologies in the hands of young people. For the most part, they're probably more ahead than we are, of course. But cultural developing the minds to be ahead of the game is where I'm trying to go with that.
Mm-hmm.
How do we create the culture of awareness early enough so it's second, it's like second breathing. Like
Man,
you know what to do.
let me tell you, that is so hard, right? Because of all the pollution that's out there. To get someone to focus in. And, you know, I'll make a prediction, 5 years, that social media won't allow us to have opinions. It's because it's too much propaganda. We don't know today, right now. There's so much junk on the president. We don't know if it's true or not, right? We don't know if it's facts or fiction, right? And that is a real problem when you think of the nature, the countries, the health of a country. That propaganda is the division of a country is so bad. And I believe that it's going to get so bad in 5 years that they will have to say no more.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. The internet has become a very special, stressful.
So how can I put out all this
place.
great information to all these places to let artists know what exists, what's real, what's not real. And then
it's misinformation, disinformation.
I don't know if they get it or not, because there's so many places they're listening, they might be listening to that's telling them something polar opposite of what I'm saying. And it's like, how do you know they get it? I just have to have the faith and the persistence and just keep going consistently and keep going. I'm 10 years in, right? We're 10 years now. So May 1st, 2015 is when I started Adventure Music.
Right. Now, how many artists do you have signed up now?
I don't know. We're in the tens of thousands. I'm not sure the number.
Right.
It's somewhere up in there.
Yeah. Man, so I just appreciate you guys coming and sitting with me for an hour or so. Like I've learned a lot from the both of you in terms of your. Actually, I got to find out more about Brooklyn though. we ain't really tap into Brooklyn. You know what I mean? Especially coming up in the 70s and the 80s. That was a different place.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, but I definitely want to have you guys back as I build this Hakim Green show platform out.
Hey, Hop, I got something that's real interesting, right? With like Chris was saying, we used to tour and do seminars and stuff like that. So we used to stop in these cities, and after these showcase, we used to go to the studios with artists, you know, who's flowing fresh off the stage and, you know, that creativity. And we came up with 2 albums. We came up with an album called the Independence album with artists from Baltimore, from North Carolina, from Cleveland, Ohio, multiple places.
Alabama.
Yeah, but we also came up with a Christmas album. We made a Adventures Music Christmas album. I'm only bringing this up because this is the time of the year to be plugging it. Yeah. It's not your average Christmas album. It's an album made for us, by us. So you're not going to hear the typical "Oh Silent Night" renditions. Everything on there is all new. Yes. We have 3 tracks on there that's Latin tracks by Latin artists, you know. But it's a cultural album.
Can I find it right now?
It surfaces. You should be able to. It's called Adventurous Holiday.
Yes.
Chris Gotti Lorenzo presents Adventurous Holiday. Yeah. We have one of the songs on there is by a guy. He actually was a 3rd or something place runner up on, what was that, Chris? Not America's Got Talent.
What are you talking about?
First show. Sam, what was his name?
Yeah, Sam, I know. I think that's the Idol.
American Idol. He was a runner up on there or something like that.
Yeah.
You know,
big voice, big voice.
But it's an album, man. And you know, Christmas albums, you only have to make one, and it occurs every that season, you know. So that's why I'm bringing it up.
I'm trying to find it. You can't send it to me.
You can time, yeah.
We'll send it.
Yeah, but it's, you know, that it's a cultural album. It's a cultural, you know what I'm saying? It's all new music. You know, it touches everybody in different ways and shit.
Yeah, that's powerful. That is definitely powerful. I'm trying to preview it. I want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to give people a visual at least,
I
let them
don't
see it.
know why it's not, but I'm definitely, after I get off, I'm gonna check that back in and see. I don't know. Should be check under Chris Gotti Lorenzo, because it's a Chris Gotti Lorenzo presents. You might get check that. And it should be videos up there. Should be a couple videos up there too. We got videos for some of the joints too, and they're different. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me see.
It's an album for us by us. But these are the things that we do. We give people opportunity, and how that album came about is Chris had started to start a writer's session where he invite independent writers. We're trying to do something for writers to just sit down in the studio and write songs, and then we'd match them with other independent artists.
If you put in Chris Gotti Lorenzo,
I found it.
Yeah, in Apple Music, I'm like, how is it not coming up? It's all there.
So that project came about from him creating a class. When we try to think about everybody at Ventures Music, the writers, the producers, even as much the comedians. The comedians have to understand this is a platform for them as well.
Yeah, it's one of the songs you playing it.
It's an album for us.
That's Juan Elise. Juan Elise, right? That was who sang that. That's the cover. There you go.
Yeah.
Adventurous Holidays.
Nice.
It's an album for us. Mothers could cook, families could sit down and enjoy. You know what I'm saying? This is what it's all about. This is what we stand for, and we stand on it. This is what Chris is talking about. The support. Support is just not there. You know what I'm saying? In the industry.
And I did this with all independent artists. I did a writing sessions and just created, to give them an outlet for their music. And it's the songs that every year they could play for the holiday. It's different. It's a different, it's different than just Jingle Bells. You know what I mean?
I love it. This is what's needed right now. You know what I mean? To use a phrase, for us, by us.
Yes.
And we talk about the culture expressing itself in so many different ways that needs to be exposed. That's an example of what it is right there.
I feel me and Chris both.
Christmas by Chris Gotti. Come on, stop it.
Me and Chris and our other partner Don De Niro, we all believe that as an artist, especially if you're making hip hop records, rather be R&B, traditionally you should make a one-time Christmas album. It's an album that only circulates once a year, every time, like your birthday, basically.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So you make it one time, but a lot of artists need to start exploiting different things with music. Like Chris was saying, jazz, maybe do a jazz album. You done did 5 albums already, might try it, you know what I'm saying?
Artists create art, bro. Artists create art.
But you know, education is the hardest thing for the minorities. It seems like to want to they rather go to the party than go read this book to get this knowledge. At one time I was like that too, but now we're teachers, just like you say. We're teachers now. We're OGs, but we're teachers. We educating them like, these kind of hustles right here, legit shit. We're not putting a gun in a pack in their hand. Right. It's hard to get them to perceive and understand that, you know what I'm saying, and move forward. They just want to follow the trends.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. Yo, Chris.
Yes.
I got a question from Benny Boone.
Okay. He hit you just now?
Yeah, I told him I was going to be interviewing you guys, and I had to ask, is there anything he'd like to ask you since I'd have you on? And he said, do you remember him being instrumental in helping to put together the Made You Look video?
Yes.
From behind the scenes, helping with Joe again and so forth. So maybe you could give us some details about that day.
Again, well, Benny Boone, what's crazy? All of those guys came from under Hype. Mm-hmm. Hype Williams was the main one. They all was underneath Hype. Him, Little X, I mean, all of these directors that are huge came from underneath Hype Williams. And Benny Boom with the Major Look again video. Again, it was just, I was just in the presence. I wasn't I don't know what does he expect me to talk about, but you know, it's just one of those moments, right? It's one of those videos. It's iconic video.
He did the clapback. He did the clapback vid too, didn't he?
Yeah,
clapback, absolutely.
Yeah, Ben is in there with us. He did join.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
It
yeah.
was always love on the set. He's another one. I looked over Hype's shoulder. I looked over, like when Irv would be looking over shoulders, I was looking over shoulders.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I absorb and I learn. People are like, D, why you were playing shit so close? Go over there, do that. They didn't understand that. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to absorb shit. I don't want to just sit over here in the corner and roll dice.
Now, Benny Boom, he was one of those guys. He had that energy, that vibe, vocal.
Yeah.
He's
That's my bro right there. Our Channel Live's last video, Wild Out 2K, was Benny Boom's first video.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's the third member of Channel Live, we call him. And then we started a company called Illegal Broadcasters. So we used to roll around as the Illegal Broadcasters. But
Benny was one of them dudes. Yeah. He was dope, man. He was dope.
Yeah.
Y'all said what up too.
Even when he was
in his space, I'm making movies, balling out right now.
Well, he did. He right, because he said ask what's next on the TV film side too as well.
Yeah, let him know. Like I'm doing a lot of movies. He definitely, if you could share my number to him,
I will.
And have him reach out. I just spoke to Harv White today. That was crazy. He called me today. He's the editor, and he goes back to Harv was one of them other guys that was the editor with Hype and everything. He reached out today. So, but yeah, we're doing movies. I got Balling Out right now. I got The Supreme Truth. You could go get that off of Prince Miller NYC.com. Go get that. I'm part of that as well. A documentary on Kenneth Supreme McGriff, you know, and why he shouldn't be in jail, and all, you know, the real story of the
just
case.
Wrapped up on Spanish Fly.
Spanish Fly, I'm coming. Spanish Fly, Don De Niro just finished shooting that. That'll be coming out top of the year. You know, I got a movie I'm shooting right now called Raffle. That's going crazy. I got another one, Night Shift. I'm gonna have like 7 movies out for 2026. So I'm moving in that space really, like, and my key is distribution. So to find the right distribution partners, so we can make the right money back. So it's not just a hobby; it'll be a real business.
Yeah.
If you ain't seen that Ballin' movie, it's starring Lance Stevenson and Safari and Trey Chaney. It's over there. It's
Rebecca
over there.
Beaumont, you know what I'm saying?
And it's not a basketball movie; it's a suspense thriller. You know what I'm saying?
You go.
Murder
mystery. One more time, please.
Ballin'
the movie.
LLIN. It's out on Tubi. You can go watch it right now. This shit is fire. We was #1 for 5 weeks. Still going.
Nice.
Shit, we got millions of fucking views. So
love it.
Moving beautiful. And I'm, like I said, I love the space. I just have to find the right partners for distribution, so it's a real profitable business, and I can take it over just like we did in music.
Yeah. So I don't know. You guys familiar with Nikki D?
Of course.
Yeah. So I told her I was gonna be sitting with you guys. I was like, yo, throw me a question. So she sent me this, if you don't mind.
Okay, come on.
Wait, hold on. I'm doing too much. Hold on 1 second.
Hey Chris, what's up? It's Nikki D. You probably don't know me, but Def Jam's, first lady.
Yes.
I was sort of like the fly on the wall executive assistant, if you will, for Leroy Cohen.
I know.
These deals happened. I was there before the Murder Inc. deal happened, before the Rockefeller deal happened, and definitely before the Rough Rider deal happened. So I saw all the inner workings of everything and all these labels, but there was always somebody within the teams that did things that, if it wasn't for them doing what they did, these things wouldn't happen. Like, we knew Irv was the mouthpiece, the producer, the creator, the talent finder. Once all these things were taking place, what is it that Chris did? Chris GOTTI did. And if you didn't do it,
he signed my check. He signed my check, and he made sure money was on the credit card.
Dex, you answer that question. What did I do? What did I do?
It's what.
And she
listen
said
to
something.
me.
I'm gonna answer one thing she said. She said Irv was yes, Irv is the visionary and the creative and but all the producers I found, every artist but Ja Rule I found. So I'm more than just an executive. I handed him those talented people that he took and created the music, absolutely. But I found them and gave it
And
to him.
he put Irv's vision onto paper to collect paper.
There you
You
go.
understand what I'm saying?
So really,
Absolutely, the business part of the music business.
But when she asked that question, what did I do? And if it wasn't for me, I don't know if it, without being an asshole or trying to be, I'm no disrespect to my brother at all, ever. But Irv didn't start Murder Inc. saying, I'm gonna start Murder Inc. He didn't even have a name for the company because he didn't know he was gonna do a record label. See, when you get to the truth of where everything started or how it became was because Irv wanted to be the biggest producer in the game. And I made him the biggest producer in the game. How did I make him? I found all the producers that made all the records with him. If I don't find those producers, does he become the same producer? I don't know. It's a different journey, different path. And at the end of the day, when he became the number one producer, Tommy Mottola said, I want to buy 4 beats. So I'm like, okay, that's $1 million. I'm like, yeah, let's go get this money. So we go to meet up with Dave McPherson. Shout out Dave McPherson.
Big shout out to Dave McPherson, no doubt.
Yeah, and then Dave says, Tommy don't want to give you buy beats from you. He wants to give you a record label and hands Irv a contract. Irv skims through it, throws it back, and says, if you're serious, send it to my lawyer. And he said, is that all you want? He said, yeah. Me and him, we walk out. He was at Justin's restaurant, Puffy's original restaurant here on 21st Street.
Yeah.
We walk out, and we going crazy. We like, oh, shit, we got a record label. They got to give us a record label. But Irv didn't go out and say, you started this podcast. When you started it, did you know the name of the podcast? Before you started the podcast, you knew what you was gonna call it, right?
Oh yeah.
We didn't know what we was gonna call the label.
Well,
that's the proof
it's so good. I'm sorry, not to cut you off,
no,
but I got.
I'm just saying that's how you know what I'm saying is so true, because Irv would tell the story all the time how he found the name on the Arts and Entertainment channel was Gangsta Week and Murder Inc., the Notorious Murder Inc.
Thank you.
And then he's like, they made hits, because that's what the voice, the narrator of the TV show was talking about. Albert Anastasia, Lucky Luciano, and I forgot who else. And they the ones that built this company called Murder Inc., but they was doing contract killing. But he said the Notorious Murder Inc., and they made hits. Irv went fucking crazy. That's what we do. We make hits. That's Murder Inc. But that's how you know he didn't have a name. If he had a name, he would have already had the name and said, all right.
Well, that happened after the receipt.
This is after the meeting with Tommy Mottola. Now we were searching for a name. We're searching. Like I put in Lockdown. Ja did a freestyle with Clue, and you hear Lockdown. That's because I said I was like Lockdown Records. And we was trying to all come up with a name for the company. And then Irv was like, well, when Ja did this freestyle for DJ Clue, we're gonna have all these names in it. Y'all put these names in there so it looks like if when we come out with this label, we knew we had the label. You understand?
Okay. Now that
was the whole plan, but we didn't have a name, and the Murder Inc. came from Arts and Entertainment. Murder. It was Gangsta Week on A&E.
Yeah. Maya Lansky and them.
Yes.
Yes.
Albert Anastasia, it was all Murder Inc. is Jews.
Yeah.
And not Italian guys.
Right. We get that mixed up. There's the mob and there's the mafia. And that's it used to be two different entities. But
the Jews was getting that money.
Huh?
The Jews was inside of the mob getting that money.
Yeah. The Godfather to me, 1 and 2, greatest film ever to me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's a lot of history. Lots of history in there.
Imagine when AI gets that movie and turn all the characters black.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? I'm saying because kids born within, as the way we move, people don't really go back 20 years, past 20 years. So if in 10 years, 15 years from now, some kid goes on there and jacks that and change all the characters to black and put it out.
You can see that. You can see that. Look,
Will it still be a great movie?
Yeah, if they keep the part where it say keep the drugs with the niggas and the spics, they ain't got no souls anyway. Fuck them. Yeah, if you keep that in there, because that's the goddamn truth, right?
Oh,
and they was actually telling us what the deal was then. The 80s and the 90s, they was telling us what the fucking deal was.
It's been in front of us the whole time. It's up to us to read it and understand it.
Yeah, man. Oh man, so I want to.
But let Nikki know I answered that question. Yes, I
show it. I sent her the link. She should be plugged in. But I will.
remember her. Yes.
I'm gonna chop that up and make sure I get that out for sure. But I need you to just the TVT at some point comes into play. That's before.
That's Mike Geronimo days. That's Mike G.
Mike G. They're totally different thing.
TVT is Blunt Records. TVT was Television Tunes, and it's Steve Gottlieb, and that was his parent company that made him his money. And he made his money because TVT is Television Tunes. So all the cartoons, music, he owned it, pretty much. Mm-hmm. All those songs you would hear in the cartoons, Bugs Bunny, Woody, all that shit, that was his.
Really?
And that's how he made money. So when we come to meet him, we talk about starting this rap label with him called Blunt Records. And TVT is the money that funded, but they're independent. They don't have no real relationships at radio or anything else that you're going to need to move the music. Mm-hmm. So we did the best we could over there, made some money over there for sure, but we had to leave to a major because in those days, there was no chance for an independent.
Yeah, well, I mean, the success speaks for itself.
Yeah.
In terms of you guys knowing what you were doing, that was just those days and being able to transition. Different situation, of course, but comparatively speaking, like the Dame and Jay with Freeze Records, then Priority, then Def Jam, and people don't understand like how the relationship went from here to here to here. How you got,
Freeze had a deal with Priority, and Priority was very weak as well. Mm-hmm. And he couldn't get his records played. And the way that Irv ended up really and bringing Jay over with us was just because he couldn't get those records played. He's like, how you getting Mike Geronimo played? How you doing records like that, getting those played, and I can't get mine? He's looking down like, them records ain't better than mine. And they was just suspended, like, what the fuck? So Irv was like, you need to talk to Kevin Lyles, basically. And he was like, okay. And Jay, being Jay, he brought a paper bag with him and went to talk to Kev, and he dropped it on his desk. But Kev, being a gentleman, said, I don't need your money. I want the record. And he put it on the soundtrack. What song is Ain't No Nigga on?
Blue Street? No.
Blue Street, I think it's Blue Street.
Blue Street, yeah.
Use the money from Blue Street for the record, right? Because when you get the soundtrack, them movie companies put a lot more money than the record label. So there's a lot of money made for the label. So they gave you all this money to go put this album out, and then they took that money, parlayed it on Jay's record, but said Irv was like, you need to give him a deal, get him off Freeze and all of that, and bring him over, to which they did. And that's the birth of Rockefeller on Def Jam.
Wow, that's amazing. Like, again, the impact on not just the music industry, brother, but the culture.
Oh yeah, we're East Coast. I always say we're East Coast hip hop. Like really, the heyday of East Coast hip hop, not the birth of it. Because the reality is when we get to Def Jam, Irv was shitting on Def Jam because Death Row was selling 5 and 7 million records, and even Bad Boy, who's an Arista is not a hip hop label. But Bad Boy's over there doing 2s and 3s, and Irv is like, how the fuck y'all can't even sell but 500,000, and you're a real hip hop label? Yeah. And the music was a shift in the music, which was really, you had all West Coast at that time, and just a sprinkle of Bad Boy, and nothing else on the East Coast. And I could sit here and make an argument, and I could prove it. Not really an argument. This is off to me, factual stuff. Because the success of Murder Inc., the success of Rockefeller, the success of Rough Riders, it lit a fire under all of Universal. See, if I'm making a case like an executive would for revenue, I'm making a case for all these revenue. All of a sudden, Redman and Method Man and everyone is selling records all of a sudden, more than they ever sold. Because the label's hot now. You understand? The label's hot.
Yeah.
And the heat came from us. And the proof that it came from us is when we started getting a little Fed trouble or talks. Vivendi at the time that owned Universal flew us to fucking France to come talk to them. Why are they calling the guys from Murder Inc. Records to come talk to them? Because they found out and figured it out. Like, we're the ones who brought all this shit over here. So they wanted to talk to the heads of the guys that could control this rap shit over here. And we went out, they flew us out, and when we found out they talking about the trial, we said, what the fuck are y'all, you flew us out for this? We thought we was about to get a big deal. We like, oh man, they calling us out, you know what I'm saying? The owners of Universal, this is Vivendi, the company.
So what were the names in that room though?
I don't even remember. Because I don't really care. They didn't care about me. And
well, that's I don't. Well,
I'm gonna keep it
no. I meant that more. So, I mean, I care.
Yeah,
I care. I care to know. I care to know.
Crazy? We didn't at the time. We're very ignorant. I'm not afraid to tell you that I was very ignorant. Irv was very ignorant in the sense of not understanding all of this business that we're going through. We're just making hit records. Remember what I just keep falling back and say. Irv just wanted to be the best producer in the game. Then you understand what I'm saying. So we wasn't sitting there thinking of all the business going on.
So to your point, because I see where you at. I feel you, right? Wall Street Journal, I think. What year did Pastor Cavassier come out?
I'm not sure. That's probably
2002, 3.
It's probably 2 or 3.
All right. So I was in an organization that Harry Belafonte, Ozzie Davis, Ruby D, Gil Noble, they would frequent the meetings in this organization. This was like maybe 2004 or 5, right? So Mr. B comes to the meeting and he's pissed off. Mr. Harry Belafonte. And he got the Wall Street Journal. He throws it down. He was like, you guys are throwing your power away. You have no idea how powerful you are. Look at this. Open up the Wall Street Journal. There's a whole article that talks about how the song Pastor Cavassier saved the economy of Cognac, France. That the Chinese put an embargo on France and it fucked up the business. But the town of itself was all based off Henny, rum, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And she was about to collapse.
Yeah.
And Pastor Cavassier came out. Niggas we back in business. We good. We saved a whole city.
Yeah.
Though.
Chris, do you know if Steve Stout has had his hands on that? Because now the way he described it is that shit.
I don't believe it was Steve Stout.
Yeah, that's what I have to ask.
It's a good thing that the power of our art does that. We move the dollar, we move the needle to the point where people are eating off of it, and we could be doing a better job of eating off of it ourselves.
Well, again, you say that, right? And it's the process because they still control that dollar that made it go.
That's what Puff was going.
And that is the balancing act that we're trying to juggle every day.
Yeah.
We understand the power. Let's say he didn't at the time in the moment. Today, everyone understands their power. But they probably over-exaggerate their power now because of days like that prior. In a sense, they might be not as relevant or as hot as they were in the moment. And they think they are, and they think they have that same power. So it's all, it's a combination of things. It's not just one thing. But Jay-Z, in my opinion, he epitomized that the best. And the most times, just think of what he did with Range Rover and 4.0s and 4.6s. Think of the biggest thing to me that was the most blaring thing in our face was the throwback jerseys. He went to go see David Stern, and you know where what does Stern want to see? And
Like
Stern,
that.
yeah,
Yo,
Stern was like,
Same thing goes for the Yankee Fitted.
yeah.
like the power of
the culture.
That
if I told you the truth, Jay used to sit in my office to wait to talk to Irv, and the reality is, the days that he did that, and Irv, the conversations that Irv would have with him, Irv would tell him he could sell anything. Irv would tell him you could sell a potato chip. If Babe Ruth could sell a candy bar, you could sell a candy bar. That's what he's telling Jay. And Jay wasn't really believing it. But after that day with David Stern, he called him and was like, "You're right." And Irv was like, "Why?" And he told him they was down over 4,000% because he switched from wearing a throwback jersey to saying, "Be a grown man, button up,
change
clothes." And he went to that song, and it was about being more of an adult, dress up, put a button-up shirt on.
Yeah, I was
and
a
everyone
club,
got rid of their throwback jerseys.
I was a club promoter at Cheetahs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody went from throwback jerseys to button-ups in one spring.
Just like
It was like overnight. I'm like, yo, these niggas ain't got no type of fucking I'ma do what I'ma do. These niggas is doing what that nigga's doing. Whatever that nigga's doing, that's what we doing.
Yeah.
That was shit is crazy.
And that was it. But that was the proof he needed. That's why he said in his song, "I never thought I'd sell clothes." Right? He said in one of his songs, he's like, "I never, you could have tell." I was like, "What? I ain't selling no clothes." And he started selling Rockaway. Again, that's when he realized the power of what he was doing. And that he's the beginning. And Steve Stout, when Dex mentioned Stout was very influential in opening up those markets and getting deals for artists.
Because you remember back in the 2000s, if you was a popping artist, you had some type of clothesline. Everybody had a clothesline.
Yeah, you had who did start
Eve,
with though?
Eve had it. We had it. Rockefeller had it.
Rockefeller had it. Yeah,
everybody
had it.
Everybody.
Fat Farm was my closet for a while.
I think Damon Williams was buying up all the licenses to that. Yeah, he was buying up all the license to all those. Am I correct, Chris?
Damon John.
He got, that's when he started working for this.
Damon John. You said Damon Williams.
Yeah, Damon John. Yeah, he for some company. Was it not Samsung? I forgot the name of the company he was working for, but he was inquiring all these black boutique.
Yeah, he was buying up all the brands afterwards, getting their names and owning all the names and stuff.
Because you brought up Damon John, let me ask you a question. What's in the water in Queens?
Irvin Hill was in the same second grade with Steve Stout. Imagine them three was all in the same second grade class together.
Damn.
Nothing. I just feel when you talk boroughs, and I'm a borough guy. I fuck with all these boroughs. I fuck with them all, but I just felt Queens was probably the most diverse.
Put out a lot of executives.
It was the most diverse, so that's why executives, because we could talk to everybody. Again, if you was a real Queens gangster, you could be anywhere. It didn't matter if it was Queens, but most of these Queens dudes wasn't about their work. That's why they got a bad rep. You know, that's why Queens keeps faking it. Brooklyn keeps taking it. You know what I'm saying? That's where that line comes from. Is you know, that's not because it's not things that really happen. Now, the real Queens niggas held Queens up. You know what I'm saying? We held everything up for everything in Queens, but you know, it all starts from jail. It doesn't start anywhere else. And if there's 1,000 Brooklyn niggas from jail locked up and you got 20 Queens niggas, what you think's gonna happen? Except for the real ones. See, the real ones held up Queens, even though it's only 20 in jail. And that goes for Brooklyn and the Bronx. It's the same thing. But Queens is more diverse. Borough to borough, we're the more diverse. It's the reason I could go talk to a fucking king, a fucking billionaire, and then go in the hood and talk to a killer, and it's all good. Each one is going to respect me and understand me the same way. Where most of those other boroughs don't have that ability. That's a real skill set. So, you know.
I know that all I know is Queens. There's a lot of great MCs that come out of Queens. A lot of great DJs that come out of Queens. It's a lot of great. Malcolm X lived in Queens. Like, you know, like when you go all the way back to Herbie Lovebug, Queens,
Davey D,
Kid and Play, you know, Queens Bridge, of course, all the way from Juice Crew, Marley Marl. It's just Queens
rap.
Yeah, like it's like Mobb Deep, Capone and Noriega.
I mean, it's crazy.
You guys just
it's crazy amount of people that came out of Queens, but we are the biggest borough.
Yeah.
So
Mr. Cheeks and them, like
Q-Tip, the Tribe Called
Quest,
LL Cool J. I mean,
LL Cool J, Run DMC, of course.
I mean, people ask me this about hip hop all the time, and you know, I'll take my chances with all my Queens artists versus any borough.
I'm saying you yeah, like Brooklyn got some artists that could take 10 MCs, line them up at one time, though. You know what I'm saying? And take them down.
Well, you know, that's what you say.
You know what I mean?
I'm not saying nothing against Brooklyn. Got a bunch of artists.
Oh man, we need to say Nas. We need to say Nas.
I know. Don't worry about it.
We need to say Nas. I was about to ride with you, Dex, and
Brooklyn got a lot of sleepers too. We still got G-Rap. Come on, man. We got people, man. We got sleepers that we ain't even thinking about.
We got Kane. In 1988, which is the greatest year in hip hop, Kane was my favorite rapper.
You know, we got some artists that could line up 7 MCs and take them down at the same time, 7 more.
Listen, all I'm gonna tell you is, I'll take my chances with Queens.
I feel you. Ain't mad at you, bro.
Yeah, I'll take my chances with Jersey.
Especially when I think you was
born in Jersey. How about that?
Ask him where he. Ask him which hospital he was born.
You didn't say where you from? Orange? East Orange?
East Orange, New Jersey.
You ain't gonna say just East Orange and say you will take East Orange. You saying I'm taking the whole state of Jersey. We're talking about a borough in New York. So if I took all of New York versus Jersey, you got no chance.
Yeah, Queens is like the size of North Jersey, bro.
See what I'm saying?
I mean, come on. You know what I mean? Like East Orange, relatively speaking,
I'll take my chances with Queens versus Jersey. How about that?
I don't know. We might set that up.
I take my chances. I got
set that up.
I'll take my chances. I'll take my chances. You know, Brooklyn is probably number 2 to me.
Brooklyn?
Yeah. And then the Bronx and Harlem is a battle for 3rd. They both got a ton of artists, man. Too.
You put them together though?
No, I'm saying Bronx or Harlem, which is Manhattan. Right? That's the other borough. So which one? I don't know. They have a lot of artists.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. But man,
if we put it in the radius, a square radius, I still think Queens got it.
I mean, Queens got a lot of MCs, bro. It's just a lot of them.
In a 2 mile, let's say a 5 mile radius. I mean, forget about it. We got so many artists in 5 mile radius.
East Flatbush, well, we got them in Brooklyn, man.
We got Jizza.
You know, we can pick them from different sections.
Smith and Wesson,
Bed-Stuy, East New York,
Buckshot,
Bush, any
Biggie, MOP.
What if we
the hustler, trigger the gambler?
What if we just said hit records? Which borough has the most hit records? Then we could easily fucking sit there and say stop it, okay?
Well, I'm not doing bad in Brooklyn either. Then I'm still not. I'm still might be number 2. I'll still be number 2 probably.
I'll just pull out the Fugees and shut it all down.
You probably couldn't get past. Run DMC.
No, but what I'm saying, we would still be number 2. We'll be number 2. I heard
Brooklyn
you.
Probably couldn't get past Run DMC and LL Cool J.
But
if we did Queens versus
I'll
Brooklyn
give you
for
that.
just hit records, I'm not
breaking
talking
it down.
about records that you liked.
I
That was
understand.
out. I'm talking about hit records.
It's
I
LL and Run
understand.
DMC.
I'm
Yeah,
saying
man.
Just
You got
them
a
two
point.
with the
You
amount
got a
of hit
point.
records they got.
You got a point. You got a
But
point.
just
I ain't
them
say
two. I'm
LL,
saying it's
Run
like it's hard
DMC.
to get past that.
Just
With you
that right
lining up
there.
7
that's why I
MCs
said
and they gonna beat
I
7
would
MCs.
take number 2 right off the back. I ain't gonna argue with the number.
I'm just saying that when you get down, like, how do you judge? I don't
Yeah,
know how to
I
judge.
agree with you.
I had to answer these questions so many times, and I always end
Yeah.
it on if we just go to hit records, because then no one could deny that was a hit, that was a hit, that was it. Like, and I'm not talking about a hit to you, a hit to the
A hit,
world.
just a hit.
Yeah,
Nah, a hit. A hit. I got you.
So let
I
me
understood.
ask.
And
Let
I
me
think it's so lopsided with Queens, is forget about it.
let me
Yeah,
ask y'all a honest question from the side, right? Is dance hall, the authentic dance hall, Vibes Cartel, is that hip hop? Is that hip hop? Is that hip hop culture?
That's not hip hop.
Is that not
That's
hip?
reggae. It's not
but
hip hop, so it's not
but
hip hop.
is that hip hop culture? Is it in the hip hop culture?
Listen to me, hip hop culture is black music, so it's inside of the culture of music that we're talking about, but it's not hip hop.
Because I seen that.
It's not hip hop. It's reggae.
So-
It's reggae.
All right,
There's a
so
name for what it is. It's called reggae. It's not hip hop. Hip hop.
I'm talking about dance hall. Dance hall is different from
Dance
reggae.
hall is called dance hall.
it's
not
dance
hip-hop.
hall. Yeah, I would agree. It's
So
dance
you
hall.
find
Dance hall
dance-
is dance hall.
I mean,
Do we like dance hall? Yes. Do we
Yes.
like fucking
Yeah.
reggae? Of
because
course.
you know Hakim and KRS-One, they got reggae. You know what I'm saying? When Damian Marley or one of the Marleys did over the hip hop version of all their dad's tracks, and they invited all reggae artists to do the album. I forgot the name of that album. Had all the artists, Q-Tip, Busta, Missy, everybody. They did all renditions. You don't remember that album, Hakim?
Not off top, I don't.
It came out through Def Jam.
Was it hit records?
Island. Huh?
Was it hit records? Because I think you're trying to gang up and say reggae is in Brooklyn because you got the fucking-
Dance hall, not
Like, you know, that's
Sean,
what
I see these do. I see these
you
do
know
there.
what?
That was a good one. That was a good one. I was fucking with you
What?
and shit. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you.
I mean, you threw that to me when you were telling about bush babies and food or some shit like
I didn't say
that.
the Bush Babies.
You said something. You said something.
But no, that's hip
Some
hop.
shakers
Listen,
or something, because they was
you can
making
take
reggae.
all of
They was
that shit,
using
and I'm gonna
reggae
say,
melodies and
if
shit.
I classify hit records, it's still lopsided.
Yeah, I give it to Queens. They got a lot of
Wild
talent.
Deep, how many hits they had?
Yeah, I mean, you got Tribe Called Quest.
How about Nas? Like,
Yeah.
come on.
You know, we
Yeah.
How about Ja Rule? How about the
I was
little
about to
Nate Ja
say that.
Rule?
You can throw your
say
boys
Ja
in.
Rule.
We know how many hits.
You
he
got
got.
you got Biggie, you got
Got
fucking Jay. And
I don't know where Buster qualifies.
Buster got records.
He's
Buster got records.
Yeah, he's
Busta- I
Brooklyn.
think
He's Brooklyn,
Busta-
but he's Long Island.
Yeah, because he's
I
lived
know
in.
he's
in
not
Brooklyn before they
officially a
moved.
Brooklyn.
Well, he's Brooklyn. He
He's
claims
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
He's Brooklyn, but
he
he
went to
lived
high
in
school
Long
and
Island.
everything.
He
in
started
Brooklyn.
rapping when he was in Long Island.
He lived.
He
He
was
lived
with
Joey
around.
Brown. He
Scobie
was
goes,
with
I think.
Brown. Come on. What's that group? What's it?
Leaders of the New School.
Yes. There you go.
Charlie Brown and Dinko.
So all I'm saying is, it's all good. He got in where he fit in. I'll give you Buster. Take Buster. Take him.
Take him.
I mean, Queens can sit confident. I ain't gonna really,
How about Coogee
I agree
Rap?
with you.
How about Coogee Rap?
I called you. I brought him up. I said we got sleepers. I just couldn't remember. Then he brought
Yeah,
up.
but see what he
Coogee
gonna
Rap
do
is
with-
Queens, bro.
Huh?
Coogee Rap is Queens.
East
You
New
can
York,
take.
though.
You can take him.
I
I
know
thought
he's
East New
Queens.
York.
He's Queens.
You can take him. East New
Word.
York. I mean, he crossed the border. He crossed the border of Atlantic or something. He crossed over the conduit.
It's all good.
In Queens, but I'm saying I give it to Queens though. You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's it.
I don't
Mr.
know. We
Cheeks.
got a lot. I'm
Gotta-
telling you,
can't
Tribe
forget
Called
Mr.
Quest,
Cheeks.
Bill Q-Tip. Them niggas was making hits.
Lost
that's-
Boys.
that's-
Lost Boys
That's
got some
our
records
era.
too.
Okay. So if you take it now and you bring it up to 10
Hits,
years
I'm
going
saying
back
hits.
now,
Oh, I'm saying hits.
it changes up now. We might New York might drop out. If you put this in a 10-year span right now, New York might drop out to Atlanta.
Oh, you're saying a 10-year span for hits?
For hits.
Last 10
we do it
years?
like that. We might not make the cut. Yeah, we might not.
Oh,
Queens nor
yeah,
Brooklyn. We might not make the cut.
Yeah, it might get ugly.
Yeah,
See, that's why it's important not to measure this shit by record sales.
No, well, it's not. It's
I
not
didn't say
good.
sale. I said hits.
It's not good to measure.
Nah, a hit is all relative. It's all relative.
I feel it's not.
If you say a hit, then it's barbershop comedy. If you don't judge it by what was deemed as a hit, we got to have some measuring system.
Well, there's certain things that move the culture that wasn't necessarily a hit record. For instance,
we had novelty records.
The Bridge was not a novelty record. The Bridge is an important song. It was a hit to us.
Absolutely.
To us. That shit wasn't a blip on the motherfucker. Some kids hit to us. It moved the culture in a way that you can't measure it with record sales.
As a person growing up in hip hop, Monday you wait all week for Friday to come for Mr. Magic to come on.
Just you can record that shit.
You have how many sets ready for your tape to the adrenaline that you
how many dub tapes don't get counted as streams? Because we happened to be 30 years or 40 years ago.
You know,
that don't mean it didn't move the culture because we couldn't measure that shit.
Yo, man, I mean, the hoods got quiet at 9 o'clock on a Friday. Everybody was on stoops, in cars. You had to be somewhere by a radio if you considered yourself feeling that you think you like hip hop or you was already off of hip hop. It was something you had to because when you went to school Monday, somebody had the tape. But everybody was talking about, yo, you heard that shit, Mr. Marley Marl, and then I think it was 92Q, right? It wasn't
92Q was
92Q
with Paco Rabanne or some shit like that. You know, that was the Juice Crew side, and Marley Marl them had BLS. Man, that was the growth of the culture. That was an experience. That was something. Yeah. It was a phenomenon to see hip hop grow, yo.
Yeah. But now it's like what to the point of if it currently resides in Atlanta, then
still surviving though.
Do we just do what Atlanta? Do we just do what Atlanta do? Because that's what it do. Or do we go back in the South and create the next shit?
Nah, man. It's still right now. It's like the Olympics. Every year, somebody taking that torch and moving it around, but the torch don't go out. You understand the same thing with this? It's not gonna stop. Listen, when we had the pandemic, and all businesses was losing money. The only business that wasn't losing money was the music business. That's what made all these hedge funds stop. And these
Tubi, that's when it thrived the most.
Yeah. And all these hedge funds, all these economists realized, like, yo, when the pandemic came in, all these business dropped. But the only thing that stayed level was music. So after that, they started designing up these plans for what you see is the effect of them buying, giving up all this money for artist publishings and stuff, buying it for 200 million. Because they say into the music game is like a fail safe to them if you own equity in it.
Okay.
It's a safe bet, and they seeing that. That's why they buying up all these things like that. You see what I'm saying?
Wow, and that's exactly how important culture, music, arts is. That's how important it is. Film. That's how important it is that, you know, when everything else went down, music it stayed the same. It stayed the same.
Yeah. So that's just, they wouldn't have lost no money. They lost money in everything else.
Yeah,
that's it. It's good.
But listen, gentlemen. You know, once again, I appreciate your time. You sat around 2 hours with you guys. Yeah, that's dope. I appreciate that. I want you guys to shout out Adventures Music once again and everything else you got going on.
Films balling. Go watch the movie. Go watch it. Tubi.
Don't forget that Christmas album, Adventurous Holidays. You know, tell a friend to tell a friend. You know, Google it. We're gonna start posting it because it's for us, by us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nice.
And it's good, wholesome.
Yeah, man. Salute to both you gentlemen.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you for having us on. Thank you.
Love.
Always.
It's the Hakim Green Show. We out, y'all. Peace.
Peace, love.